Someone told you a destructive lie about money when you were young, and sadly, you actually believed their terrible advice. These financial myths get passed down through generations like family heirlooms, destroying your potential wealth instead of actually building it. Today, I am going to expose 7 of the most destructive money lies that are currently keeping you completely broke. I am Pete, and I will clearly show you what actually works for building true wealth in the modern economy. Some of this will contradict everything you were taught, but implementing these truths will put you far ahead of everyone. Let us start with the biggest trap of all. Money lie number 1 is that renting means throwing money away. You've probably heard many older relatives claim that paying rent always pays your landlord while building zero true equity. But nobody mentions that during the first 20 years of a mortgage, you pay mostly interest instead of actual equity. Currently, homeowners holding a massive mortgage generally pay 37% more per month than average renters across America today. Renting provides a roof over your head, ultimate flexibility to relocate, and freedom from expensive midnight plumbing emergency repair bills. While buying absolutely makes sense in some specific Midwestern markets, the blanket statement that renting wastes money is mathematically false. Homeowners often throw money away on interest, property taxes, maintenance, and insurance, while falsely convincing themselves they build enormous wealth. Run the exact numbers for your personal situation by calculating the total cost of ownership compared to renting and investing. Money line number 2 falsely claims you must meticulously track every single penny to ever achieve lasting financial success everywhere. Financial experts tell you to strictly categorize expenses and log every transaction, but this tedious habit rarely lasts long enough. The wealthy do not spend their evenings updating spreadsheets because obsessing over small daily expenses ignores your massive financial leaks. People agonizing over the exact price of daily coffee often ignore housing costs that severely consume their entire monthly income. Stop intensely asking $3 questions and start asking $30,000 questions about your massive fixed costs and investments. Create a brilliant conscious spending plan by automating your finances completely into 4 basic categories to build massive generational wealth. Set it up once, automate everything, and spend your mental energy on increasing your income instead of tracking tiny expenses. Money line number 3 claims that simply stopping your daily coffee habit will magically make you incredibly wealthy extremely fast. This is lazy analysis, heavily used to make young people feel incredibly guilty, while completely ignoring modern structural economic challenges. I personally know plenty of wealthy people, and absolutely none of them attribute their massive success to severe caffeine restriction. Cutting out delicious coffee just makes you miserable every morning, while saving an amount that remains completely irrelevant forever today. You know what actually saves significant money? Negotiating a salary increase, buying cheaper cars, or deeply reducing your investment fees. These are highly intelligent one-time decisions that save massive amounts without requiring miserable daily deprivation that you eventually abandon. Easily identify what you actually value, spend intentionally on those exact things, and cut ruthlessly on things you simply ignore. Money line number 4 strongly insists that standard credit cards are inherently dangerous financial tools, needing to be totally avoided. While credit card companies absolutely charge punishing interest rates, avoiding them entirely is exactly like refusing to drive cars forever. With proper understanding and highly responsible use, credit cards represent absolutely one of the most powerful wealth-building tools available. I have gladly spent hundreds of thousands on credit cards without paying interest while collecting free flights and cash back. Powerful credit cards also help you intelligently build excellent credit, which quickly saves you tens of thousands on future mortgages. The absolute secret involves fully paying your entire statement balance completely automatically every single month without any costly interest charges. Always act like what major credit card companies angrily call a deadbeat customer by purely collecting all their lucrative rewards. If you currently have crushing consumer debt, aggressively pay it off, then actually learn to use modern credit cards correctly. Money line number 5 constantly tricks you into believing that highly successful investing heavily requires picking the absolute hottest stocks. We all eventually hear wild stories of cousins making huge returns on obscure crypto, but gamblers simply never discuss losses. If these overly confident speculators strictly calculated all their trades and massive fees, they would realize simple indexes strongly outperform. The primary strategy that actually creates enormous financial wealth involves completely consistent long-term investing in broad, cheap index funds. The vast stock market powerfully averages roughly 10% annually, meaning your invested money practically doubles every single modern decade. You absolutely cannot panic and desperately sell whenever the volatile market sharply drops, nor should you perfectly time future exits. Tragically, missing just the absolute 10 best days of simple investing over 15 years completely destroys your overall long returns. Time securely in the open market easily beats timing the fast market, so buy broad, diversified funds extremely consistently today. Money line number 6 boldly tells you that you desperately need a financial advisor to expertly manage your growing portfolio. Sleazy financial advisors love making basic investing feel impossibly complicated so they can confidently charge you a massive yearly fee. Over 30 long years, that very tiny-sounding 1% management fee could actually cost you absolutely enormous financial wealth. That is massive unearned wealth totally lost to an expensive advisor for doing extremely simple tasks you could manage alone. Unless you currently have extremely complex international business ownership or deep estate planning needs, you rarely need costly financial advisors. Strongly maximize your great workplace retirement match, fully fund your tax-advantaged accounts, buy basic target funds, and completely automate. Money line number 7 represents the dangerously seductive modern idea that you must deeply follow your ultimate burning inner passion. Average people hastily quit highly stable jobs to boldly chase artistic passion projects that unfortunately never generate any real income. The intricate relationship exactly between pure passion and making real money usually works exactly opposite to what popular influencers teach. You rarely initially start out deeply passionate while making money. Instead, you naturally build incredibly strong skills very effectively first. Instead of endlessly searching for true passion, accurately determine what you are exceptionally good at delivering to paying global marketplaces. Digital bookkeeping or corporate organizing might absolutely not fundamentally sound highly romantic, but these skills reliably pay thousands of dollars. Once you consistently earn truly excellent money through extremely high competence, you completely unlock the absolute freedom to eagerly explore. Having abundant money simply buys deep personal freedom and vital options, which generously creates huge mental space for authentic passions. These 7 incredibly dangerous financial lies all fundamentally sound entirely reasonable on the surface to the totally untrained average ear. But constantly following them blindly will absolutely guarantee that you sadly remain incredibly broke for the rest of your life. The pure underlying truth about fundamentally building deeply lasting wealth is significantly simpler than greedy financial industries desperately tell you. Totally stop eagerly buying into outdated conventional wisdom that intentionally keeps most average Americans heavily indebted and sadly completely poor. Always deeply remember that traditional housing is absolutely not always an amazing investment, despite what older local family members claim. Firmly stop painfully agonizing over completely tiny daily expenses like delicious coffee and start effectively optimizing extremely massive lifetime costs. Immediately automate your primary investments carefully so you perfectly pay yourself first without ever heavily relying on your weak willpower. Always highly utilize powerful credit cards to your massive financial advantage by completely paying large monthly balances fully on time. Strongly refuse to blindly play the risky stock-picking game, relying entirely on highly diversified and totally inexpensive index funds. Carefully protect your own expanding wealth by vigorously avoiding all terrible percentage-based advisory fees completely destroying your retirement portfolio. Rapidly build highly valuable modern skills that incredibly easily solve highly painful real market problems to generate extremely massive incomes. The greedy financial industry shamelessly profits immensely by purposefully making money management actively seem highly complicated and almost totally inaccessible. The absolute core fundamental rules of generating massive wealth genuinely have not changed at all in over one full century. Systematically spend significantly less money than you regularly earn, consistently invest the remaining crucial difference, and constantly boost earning power. Make highly intelligent and deeply calculated major decisions on the few massively expensive lifetime expenses that actually genuinely dictate wealth. Absolutely everything else constantly promoted is simply extremely loud noise, maliciously designed to keep you permanently anxious and incredibly confused. Now that you finally clearly know the absolute unvarnished truth about reliably building extreme wealth, your ultimate next moves matter. You essentially have two choices: stubbornly cling to old comforting financial myths or powerfully implement these highly proven wealth strategies. The incredible modern path directly to total financial independence essentially requires bravely rejecting entirely comfortable myths strongly held by society. Boldly take back absolute ironclad control of your total financial destiny by managing your own amazing money extremely wisely today. If this valuable video completely transformed your deeply held personal perspective on saving money, please immediately like this helpful video. Please make entirely sure you highly consider deeply subscribing to our financial channel directly to rapidly build massive generational wealth. Please immediately turn on the notification bell right now, and genuinely thank you very much for actively watching Pete Invests.